Welcome to Harmonize IT Security and Compliance, a demo by Qualys. This demo is about showing in practice how to harmonize IT, security, and compliance. These three souls in a company look at the same data, but from different perspectives. We will leverage the power of Qualys Cloud Platform to show how to support these needs. Data are collected across the IT landscape using eyes or sensors, and they are streamed to a high-performing backbone in Qualys Cloud Platform. Here they are sliced and diced, processed and aggregated to be consumed within a single pane of glass for different purposes. Let's start with IT with a cloud app called Asset View. Asset Overview is a customizable dashboard view showing information relevant for IT purposes, such as the OS and software distribution across the monitored IT landscape. All displayed data are grouped in customizable widgets containing actionable information to allow immediate drill down to see details about a given asset or group of assets. Details like last reboot or last logged in user, geolocation, running services, installed software, and other relevant information. There is an extensive tagging system to allow static and dynamic grouping for various purposes. The same multidimensional representation offers details useful for security and compliance purposes, such as information about the running services, about user accounts configured in the system, details about software installed on the system, with a great ability to search for information. It is possible to look at the vulnerable surface of the asset, or again about how the system complies with a set of defined controls or policies. But what if the IT landscape extends to the cloud? We must have the same level of visibility no matter what. This capability is empowered by CloudView, a free application to connect your Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform account to gain immediate and in-depth visibility about your defined cloud resources, again, conveniently grouped in customizable widgets. More importantly, you can drill down on specific assets, and this allow immediate understanding of the relations between them. The example shows how to quickly find the security group associated to a T2 micro resource in Amazon Web Services, and how you can continue your investigation from here with other relations and associations. And assessment for misconfigurations, the most frequent root cause of breaches, is just a click away with a fee-based cloud security assessment app. CSA allows you to gain immediate awareness about potential dangerous misconfigurations, such as missing restricted access to an S3 bucket or logging not being enabled, together with important mitigation steps clearly detailed and immediately accessible. Again, this is an example of how we cross the boundaries of IT, security, and compliance silos, harmonizing them all. The job of IT can also be greatly empowered with ITAM. We call this asset inventory. Asset inventory leverages a database of non-discoverable information curated by Qualys experts about various assets categories to provide normalization, organization, and enrichment with non-discoverable metadata of the assets detected with sensors across the IT environment. It becomes instantaneously possible to understand the IT composition, from categorization of assets to top client hardware, from commercial client and server applications to commercial versus open source licenses. Important information about EOL or unauthorized software. Everything remains actionable. You can add existing widgets or customize some of the existing. For example, set some rules about detecting the usage of unauthorized software across the whole IT environment, with the ability of instantly drilling down to see the devices where this is installed, to assess the situation with immediacy of information, and to plan the remediating actions effectively. This capability provides a great help and support in investigation, in mitigating the risk from multiple perspectives, such as security and compliance standpoints. Let's now focus on security, with actions aimed to improve the overall security posture. Qualys helps rationalizing the process end to end by understanding your vulnerable surface with Vulnerability Management Cloud App and by prioritizing correctly the remediation process to empower operational efficiency and skilled resources utilization. Observing the vulnerable surface across a very wide and differentiated IT landscape requires great visibility, accurate data, power of rapid interrogation, and immediacy in response. Let's see how this converts in practice. Vulnerability management represents an excellent way to look at the vulnerable surface with meaningful representation of it, using trend information and giving immediate representation of how the remediation process is going. Here you can observe how to prioritize by objective severity and how to instantly drill down to a group of assets, how to reaggregate the information based on different common denominators, such as the operating system or the software installed on the system. And the objective severity of a vulnerability can be furthermore refined using the asset groups. This grouping technique allows to define a business impact and CVSS information to make the overall severity more accurate and to support prioritization in remediation. But the prioritization should take in consideration the likelihood for an incident to happen to enable estimation of the potential harm of a security incident or FOSI and the associated cost for the company. This makes the risk perception more tangible. Threat protection helps to translate theory into practice and to illustrate how to correlate threat intelligence information with your vulnerable surface. Keep the situation under control by looking at the latest threats in relation to your vulnerable surface, with all the contextual, tactical, and operational information right at your fingertips to arm your defenses in case patching is not immediately possible. In this dashboard, you can check how the latest threats impact on your assets. You can gain detailed description of the threat from our threat intelligence feeds and learn about the mitigation process. This information is once again actionable, and with a couple of clicks, you can instantly access to a single asset details, conveniently grouped into vulnerabilities and threat protection information. In this screen, you can evaluate the most dangerous threats, such as the availability of public exploits, or if the threat could cause lateral movement. You can even check if there are IOCs on the machine, seen in the last month or years. This greatly empowers effectiveness and feeds the incident response process, helping operational efficiency. Another possibility is to build dashboards to keep risky, vulnerable surface under control over time. For example, Adobe Flash installed base. It is also possible to modify an existing widget configuration to highlight a situation becoming critical by changing the query to visualize the desired data. Or configure the widget color to change when the number displayed rises above a given threshold. Or again, you can take advantage of ready-made dashboard to keep well-known threats under control. For example, the WannaCry dashboard. It remains naturally possible to build your own dashboard or take advantage of the many available from our community. What we have seen until now represents a great way to improve the security posture while ensuring the hygiene in prioritizing the vulnerable surface remediation in order to mitigate the risk of an incident. When prevention fails, other capabilities such as visibility and rapid response become more and more important. Qualys helps this phase as well to empower hunting and incident response. Here's the global view on endpoint telemetry to keep an eye on the most relevant parameters such as suspicious processes, potential indicators of compromise such as file, processes, mutexes, network connection, registry modifications, and so on. This is an excellent observational point to detect anomalies from bird view perspective. Let's try now to use Qualys platform for hunting the evil. We have more than 4 million events processed in the last 30 days in the example shown here, conveniently organized into types, actions, etc. Let's assume we received a piece of threat intelligence in the form of a file hash, and we want to understand if it landed or has been launched within our monitored IT environment. We simply paste into the hunting search bar and search to find that hopefully no occurrence has been seen in the last month. But threat actors could be persistent and living in a network for a long time before they take action. Let's extend the scope of the search for a few months, taking advantage of the archive and indexing capability of Qualys Cloud Platform. And we'll find that few months ago there has been an event. We can examine the file type event and even check on VirusTotal the danger level. And then pivot to the asset details to check for the vulnerable surface so we can plan the remediation. Hopefully, the file has only landed onto the disk and have not been executed. Let's assume now we received another threat intelligence news saying that there has been a compromised public DNS. Our first reaction would be to understand which assets within our IT landscape are using that DNS. Let's pivot to Asset View and use the interactive search tool for this purpose, taking advantage of the common completion help. We are examining over 100,000 machines. To proceed, we simply type in DNS and the system will find the proper keyword. Immediacy of response upon our query tells us that 36 assets are impacted. Scrolling the list a bit, we detect that among them there is a publicly exposed blog. Hence, we go examining that asset as a potential entry point for investigation. Looking at the system information, we do not notice anything specific or relevant in the running services. But we do notice a suspicious user account configured, NX automation. We continue our investigation by examining the exploitability of the machine's vulnerable surface. And we notice that there are 20 public exploits available, and some vulnerabilities could be weaponized for lateral movement. Combined with that suspicious user's presence, this depicts a potentially critical situation. We decide to continue our investigation to understand if that suspicious user is seen elsewhere within our IT environment. In seconds, we find that there is another occurrence, unfortunately on the machine where the customer database is stored. We have now enough information to inform our incident response team to continue. This is a tangible proof about how operational efficiency can be improved with Qualys Cloud Platform. Beside IT and security, we aim to empower the role of the compliance team. This can be achieved using one of the Compliance Cloud apps. The screen shows the dashboard of Policy Compliance app, where more than 10,000 controls are organized in mandates and policies to allow immediate awareness of the compliance status. This status is naturally actionable and interactive. Information can be grouped, for example by technology or by criticality, to gain an instant understanding of the status quo. It is possible to define policies and to explore the huge library of controls available. For each control, we expose information such as technology, policies, and frameworks where this control is included. We also cover mandates. to ease the adoption of regulations compliance. Each mandate includes a description of the part of the regulation that is relevant for the checks that can be performed. We can now proceed to create policies by importing a template from the library. All the available templates are conveniently grouped and labeled for operational efficiency so that you can focus on compliance with CIS list of control or frameworks suggested by vendors, or by verifying the available mandate-based policy template. It is also possible to filter out the displayed template list by a specific technology of interest. But compliance is not only made of technical controls. A great part of it is based on building workflows and keeping questions and answers about a given situation organized and actionable. This is achieved with Qualys Security Assessment Questionnaire app. SAQ allows teams to create campaigns of questions and answers. For each campaign, you can set up a name, a due date, and proceed to select the desired template from a list of available ones. Once you selected the template, you can proceed by adding recipients, and by selecting reminders, due date notifications, and even overdue notifications to maximize effectiveness. Once a campaign is defined and started, you can keep everything under control in customizable dashboards. Thank you for watching, and see you on www.qualys.com.